feel good, Poppy. Let me tell you, when we get home...
Here you go. You already plotting?
I'm serious. That cologne got me thinking.
I guess I should wear it more often.
You better. It's working on me.
Night looking like a nightmare, huh?
Wait till you hear it breathe. Whoa.
Y'all ready? We slithering!
All right. We are slithering again. I decided to do, you know, a drive-through. I want to go on the west side, man. Westside Esmeralda. This is a part, you know, kind of part of her story a little bit. And then I can maybe take y'all around to a couple other little places on the west side. So you might see me be quiet during times because I might have my trap music playing or whatever, but I might have a little bit of commentary as well. So we'll see how that goes. But I just want to hit the west side and show y'all what the west side looks like. So I'm probably gonna be over there for about a good hour, maybe, you know, and then I might go and grab me a little wing stop or what have you. You know, let's see what the west side is looking like. This is Saint Paul College right here. And you know, like I say, I would have went to Minneapolis, but they got a lot going on. The race soldiers decided to descend upon the city. So you got this Lane guy, you know, he's over there doing his thing, and they done ran him out of town. So I'm probably gonna edit this up and put this up real quick tonight. But they ran the suspected race soldiers out of town. They threw water on them. You know, it's very, very cold outside. I don't know why this man ain't had no hat, but they got him up out of here. You know, I think it's gonna be a sneak attack tonight to see the Riverside and some of them places. Hopefully the Somali community is standing firm and standing on their ground. But now, see, I believe that, as I said in that last video, I truly believe that they're looking for soft targets, and they did that to throw people off. That's tactical warfare. I think that they said, well, hey, we'll just break, because he didn't really have no backup. I said, man, where's MAGA at? All right, well, I was talking to a buddy of mine and stuff, and we just getting a little insight on what's going on. So I might comment on a couple little things. So right now we on exchange. Now, one of these days, I want to go through here. I've been wanting to do this for a while because I'm giving y'all the little, I've always liked this area. I've always said, man, if I do my thing, I'm buying me a crib. This is like kind of right off West 7. So we gonna probably do 3 or 4 different West Side drive-throughs throughout time to show y'all what it looks like, man, around here by these parks. And this is an area, I'm not gonna say that I necessarily envy, but I've always liked this area. And you know, Shepherd Road, this brings us down to Shepherd Road. Y'all know how I feel about Shepherd Road. I love Shepherd Road because, man, listen here. Shepherd Road, man. Shepherd Road used to be, you know, that was one of my little, you know, I'll leave it like that. You know, Shepherd Road used to be, I had a lot of good times on Shepherd Road, man. Kind of get transferring around and moving around. And I really like Shepherd Road. This is one of my favorite pieces of Saint Paul. And all these buildings weren't around at one point in time. I mean, like, this building is fairly new. So I'm just telling y'all, for people, man, outside of Minnesota, man, so y'all can kind of see we got some good things. Don't think that, man, it's just, you know, it's more to Minnesota than just downtown Minneapolis. You see the Capitol, no, the Cathedral, not the Capitol, the Cathedral. So now you got the Cosetta's Pizzeria. We're going here by the Excel Center. I think Kendrick Lamar and SZA was up here a couple months ago. They had a sold out crowd, excellent crowd. One thing about Minnesota, man, is we love hip hop. Like, we love hip hop probably like no other. Like, we really will come out for hip hop. All right, so now the Science Museum parking is down off to your right. Science Museum right over here. We gonna hit the west side. The west side, fool, as Esmeralda would say. From the west side, fool. I tried to capture the story the best way I could, you know what I'm saying? Esmeralda from the west side. I done drank up all my coffee almost, man. So yeah, they kind of took a half hour out of my drive because I had to get some updates about what was going on. Off to the left, you see the very famous, well, not so much famous, Lumen building. Lumen used to be Quest. Quest used to be US West Dex. Then they made it CenturyLink after Quest or something like, or I think it was CenturyLink, then Quest. Now they call it Lumen. One of the biggest telecom corporations in America. Science Museum off to your right, passing Washington Street. A very beautiful library off to your left. I've always liked the architecture of Saint Paul. Okay, Market Street right here. They're doing a lot of construction going on, so you can't go down here. St. Peter Street. Now, there's a couple different bridges I think you could get over to the west side. And I'm gonna try to bring you to, let me see here. Which one should I go to? I think I'm gonna take this one, Wabasha Street, and then there's another one, but I'm gonna take this one for right now. This is gonna bring you down to where I showed you the River Road. So I think I'm gonna get off. You look off to your right. I've always liked this scenery. You got the steamboats way down there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down, and then, you know, I'm scared of bridges. Yeah, I got very few fears in life, y'all. I'm scared of bridges, scared of water. Now, Harriet Island is right over here. So we're gonna come around. This apartment is fairly new. So I'm just gonna turn around. Because like I said, we gonna do this a couple different times. We gonna have to do about 3 or 4 West Sides. And I got 2 West Side stories intact. I got 2 or 3 West Side stories still intact. We got another Esmeralda story, the final that'll probably close down. The final Esmeralda story, and then we got 1 or 2 other actual West Side stories, and I'm gonna be dropping those maybe sometime this week with maybe a Shonda story. But I've been kind of taking my time. You know, I've been kind of slowing things down, especially with everything that's been kind of going down. I said, man, let me just, you know, slow it down a little bit, man. You know, give y'all a little time to kind of think with, you know, with all the unrest and whatnot. You know, you might want a little break, you know. So that, you know, I like doing these little drive-throughs. Okay, so this particular street, we're passing by Cedar, so I'm gonna go over a different bridge. So there's 2 bridges you can take to the west side, and you can also take 52, that bring you to the west side and bring you to Inver Grove Heights. All right, so we're gonna take the famous Robert Street. We going to the west side, fool. TPT, that's PBS. Some good kids programming and some pretty good news. All right, so we going across the famous Robert Street Bridge. You can see some of these, look at that old bridge with the concrete. The US Bank's right here. The Comcast is right here off to your left. You can't really see it this time. On the way back, maybe I'll check it out. I might take 52 on the way back, or I might just try to go through downtown. So downtown separates the west side from the east side. American Red Cross off to your left. Fillmore Avenue right here we passing. Like I said, these buses that we used to take, Plato Boulevard, we got the airport out here. Scrum Technologies off to your left. Let's keep it going. Damn, my glove warmers just fell over. I might throw like one little AI video up in here, man. Some of Esmeralda. I gotta put something up in here for her, man. West Side. All right. Past the Colorado Street Girl Scout off to your left. You can see You see where you from at? She said, where I'm from. There you, right there, West Side. Absolutely. Past Isabel. All right, now this is Congress Street coming up. Now this is Cesar Chavez. This is Cesar Chavez, but I'm just gonna keep going up Robert Street. Now look, now this is kind of weird. There's a one-way up here that'll bring you, and one day maybe I'll do a full West Side. I'm talking about a full one. I'm talking about where I'm going through. I might go through about an hour and a half. Take you down everywhere. Cesar Chavez. Now I might come back down to that, but I'm gonna take you all the way up Robert. You can see the Mexican influence, the Latin influence right here by that sun. I used to come over here and get my Erger dog. Start with an M though. I used to come over here because they stopped selling in Minneapolis heavily. So I come all the way out here. I come all the way out here to South Saint Paul, which I might double back and slide over there. I just might. I'm probably not really gonna take you through a ton of the blocks, not a ton, but because I don't know them like that. But they eventually wheel you back around to 52. You can see, Robert Street has a lot of hills. I'm still going up the hill. I'm still going up the hill. Quiet on the western front. Annapolis Street. I haven't taken this route in a while. I'm moving pretty quick. It's pretty quiet on the western front. ICE probably got folks holed up or whatnot. I'm probably gonna come back down and go to Cesar Chavez, but I want to go all the way up and just kind of show you all around a little bit. Bernard Street, I don't know too much about that, to be quite honest. I don't know much. I haven't seen no police yet. Maybe they focused on, I don't know. West Saint Paul Chiropractic Clinic. Now Butler Avenue, I think that's like a main street to a certain degree. But let's keep it going. We got the Walgreens. I like the West Side. I like it. I like the West Side. I didn't really, when I started kind of driving, I'd come out here on a whim. When I started driving, I'd come out here from time to time. Taco Libre, street tacos. Might have to check them out one day. Now, Alibaba's Gyro, King of Gyros, I heard is good. This is that McDonald's I was telling y'all about on this upcoming story. It might have been this McDonald's. I remember I walked all the way up. Taco Pinata. Are they open? They open. Papa John's, we gonna come back down. We gonna come back down, y'all. Hell, I might want to go grab a taco or some shit. One of these days, I'm gonna spend a day where I just sit around here and just eat, grabbing little stuff that, they got the Menards right here. You got El Tecado Mexican restaurant. They open. They ain't let ICE shut them down. Thompson. Now I'm familiar with Thompson to a certain degree. They got a Denny's. They got a CVS pharmacy over here. They got a Mr. Car Wash. Go some brothers and sisters. They got their baby out there. It's pretty cold. Yeah, they waiting on the bus. Yeah, we still on Robert Street. Robert Street, like I say, man, the West Side was kind of a different world to me. St. Paul in general was. I probably would have had a lot of fun out here, though, if I would have been coming out here a little earlier when I was, you know, younger. You know, I think I would. They got KFC. I don't see KFCs too often. This building, I think, looks fairly new. They got this place called Polo Camperero. LA Fitness, okay, Wentworth Avenue. I mean, this goes far. Now, I used to come to this Target a lot. I never really messed with this Walmart too much, but I've been in this Target many times over the last, you know, last year, I'll say that. Panda Express, Wells Fargo, you got the West Saint Paul water tower off to your left. You're probably not gonna see that. Coba Mexican Eats, they got some good, okay food. Raising Cane's, Leanne Chin's, forget about it. There's another little Mexican spot right there, Applebee's. Now that right there, that Applebee's, I'm not sure. I think I might have went to that one. I might have came out to West St. Paul with Mina right there, but it was probably in Egan. All right, this is Marie Avenue at the Holiday, so we probably gonna end up getting closer to Inver Grove Heights after a while, but let's just keep on going. They got a lot of stores and stuff here, man. You know, it's a lot. We gonna go all the way up Robert Street and come back down on Cesar Chavez, and then I might take a couple little blocks of where I'm familiar at. But I'm probably gonna bring you over to the Paul Wellstone building. Aspen Dental. Let's go as far as we go. Okay, see 494. That's why I want to, you know, I don't want it to cut off. I want to keep on, you know what I mean? Keep on. Burlington Coat Factory, Cub Foods, Twin Cities Magic and Costume. Yeah, I don't know what they doing. I don't know what that was about. They should have been in that lane. There's another Walgreens, Home Depot. I don't know how far this goes. How far does it go? Yeah, I think, oh damn, hold on. See, now we going into the suburbs, I think. Or it brings us up to 5 South. So I think you kind of coming out of West St. Paul at this point. Let's keep on going, and then we'll turn around. Salem, Church Road, see all this stuff here. Yeah, I was talking to a brother at work. He said, man, nigga, you look like a Mexican on your ID. I said, what? He said, man, you better keep your paperwork. Because I showed him the ID, and he was like, man, you got the real ID. That might suffice. But he started keeping his passport. You know, ex-military brother. He's like, man, stay your ass in the house. Don't get out there and get to acting fool with them folk. All right, y'all. This is upper 55th. We're on 5. I'm going to turn around in a minute. I just want to see where it goes. I could just keep on, but something telling me I need to turn around and bring y'all back to where we need to be, because this ain't no stores or ain't nothing shaking around here like that. Southside Baptist Church. All right. I don't know about that. All right. School bus stop ahead. Yeah, I think I might need to turn around. I think I'm gonna have to turn around. This ain't Westside no more. I don't think this is the Westside no more. This is something else. Should have turned in right there. Yeah, I don't know where we're at, man. What is this? I think, you know what I think this brings me into, which I was gonna do another time with you guys anyway. Let's turn around. I don't know where we're at. DWW. I don't know what this is, man. All I know is it's a dead end. That means I need to turn my ass around. That's what that means. Dead end means turn around, nigga. That's what that means. Turn around and go back where you need to go. That's what that means. I think this 5, I'm gonna put it on the map. I think 5 with the 18-minute mark. 5 brings you all the way through Rosemount. Rosemount is beautiful, man. They got a lot of hills and stuff, a lot of good land. Rosemount is beautiful. I had to come out here maybe about, I don't know, a year ago maybe, was it that? And I think 5 brings you out to Rosemount, Minnesota. Rosemount is very nice looking, man. Very, very nice looking. Would I live there? Well, maybe. If I bought some property, like I like the property value. Like I say, it's not, you ain't really gonna get no jerk chicken out there like that. I'm just letting you know. You know, it's kind of the place. I'm not gonna say it's sundown. I'm not gonna say that. What I'm gonna say is it's kind of the place where you want to, you know, if you want to get away from niggas, that's where you go. And there's a bunch of places like that too. But what I'm saying is, like, the land. I like how it's not really, really, really far from the city, but the land mass allows, you know, you to have your own property. But it ain't a ton of black folks out there. But it is some. You know, I know my homie D, and I used to ask him, I'm like, damn, D. He said, yeah, man, old girl from Rosemount. And I'm like, Rosemount? There ain't no black people in Rosemount. Nigga, ain't no black people in Rosemount. Ain't no black folk in Rosemount. He's like, man, this, you know, so he knew this chick out in Rosemount. He used to be out there a lot. Bro used to be out there in Rosemount. You know what I'm saying? I never seen her, so I don't know. But he used to talk about her a lot. Like, man, old girl in Rosemount. Bro used to have a little tender in Rosemount. And she was black. And I know she looked good because bro ain't gonna deal with no duck. But yeah, I just thought about that, man. D used to go out to Rosemount. And so he used to tell me, and I'm like, damn, where the hell's that at, bro? Like, I mean, I seen it on the map. But y'all gotta keep in mind too, we weren't taking video of each other with phones like to this degree. We were still caught up in life. These phones, like what I'm doing right now, you would never do that with a phone. Number one, the video quality gonna be janky. Number two, you ain't gonna have enough storage. I don't even think I had a mount like this in my car around that time. 09, 2010, whatever like that. We just had the MapQuest. We print out the MapQuest and we just follow the instructions. You know, we weren't really, and we probably could have used a GPS. I don't know, it wasn't as robust as it is now, where they're like, hey, turn left, turn right. Make a slight turn on Central Avenue. You know, it didn't do all of that. But we were good with the MapQuest. Like, there's this video that I'm gonna show y'all, man, of this sister, and this just warmed my heart, man, because it just remembered. I'm gonna do a reaction video, and then I'm gonna do another little video to kind of show y'all, man, how it was. And I think she's a little older than me.
Back in the days, man.
You know, but when I do the video, y'all gonna kind of laugh a little bit.
Ain't no Bubba Chevy, them Crown Vics. Yeah, they knew how to come pick you up. They knew to come. They knew exactly what to do. Do you hear me?
Ice Ice Baby.
They gonna call.
Oh, this is an ambulance. I thought it was Ice Ice Baby trying to get at me. It's an ambulance. I see sirens. I'm like, man, what y'all want? I'm just doing a vlog. Yeah, I ain't seen Ice Ice Baby out here. Maybe it's getting closer to the hood. I don't know. Not that I want to. I'm not looking for their ass. I ain't following them. I'm just saying. They can see some flashing lights. We look alert. Now that wasn't nobody, man. That was they probably trying to save a life, man. That was the ambulance. So we coming back down Robert Street here. Maybe I'll drive a little slower so y'all can see a little more. West Saint Paul, fool. As Esmeralda would say, 20,000 people. The population, they say, is 20,000. I think it's more, personally. I think it could be more. I mean, they got a nice little amount of things. They got the Bank of America, they got Cub and all that. It kind of feels like, to me, it feels like you're in the suburbs a little bit. They don't have a car wash. I'm trying to think, does St. Paul got a car wash? Not really. I mean, they got a car wash. Let me clear that up. But I'm saying they don't got like St. Paul as itself. When I just think of the mall, I think of Harmar Mall. That's in Roseville. But a mall like right here, they got a bunch of stuff. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff on Robert Street. University, they got stuff, but you know, St. Paulers, don't get mad when I say this, but y'all ain't got no Lowe's. You got a Target over here, and you got a Lowe's, then you got an Applebee's and a Chick-fil-A, and you got a CVS, and you got a Raising Cane within 12 blocks. They got a Jersey Mike's, which is fire. There goes Raising Cane's right there. Leanne shit, come on, man. Y'all got, man, the Westside Saint Paul, y'all got about 50 restaurants and banks all up in a 12-block radius. You got a hobby shop, you got the pawn shop, Planet Fitness, Walmart, St. Paul ain't got no Walmart. You got to go to Vadnais Heights. You got Wingstop, you got FedEx Office, you got LA Fitness, you got all of this. There go the ambulance again. You know, y'all got a lot, man. Y'all West St. Paulers, y'all got some. You got this little dome over here, look like a football dome. I ain't gonna lie, West St. Paul got it going on. Which means there's money being spent. University, man, when that train came through, they just did another rondo. You know what I'm saying? They did another rondo. There was a lot of businesses that suffered on University Avenue. That's why I don't really do a lot on University Avenue. I just tell y'all bits and pieces of stories, but you know, I can't really give University the credit that West St. Paul has. You know, there used to be dealerships up and down University Avenue at one point. You know? You got a barbershop right here, dental place, Noodles and Company. I don't mess with Noodles and Company. They shit, it ain't all that great. I'm gonna keep it 100. It ain't the best. At all. Maybe I shouldn't have put that there. I put my folder in the back on my birth certificate. But yeah, quiet on the Western Front, man. I haven't really seen too many police out here, no sheriffs or none of that. I think, I don't know if they got these folks focused on Fort Snelling or whatnot. I'm not sure. I do like what's happening far as the independent investigative journalists in the press right now, where people can get out with their cameras and give their take about what's really going on, man. I think that's something to appreciate. I'm not really seeing, I think the mainstream might be out there, but mainstream's bullshit. They ain't talking about nothing. It's the YouTubers, it's the people out there that, you know, that want to get see, they got a Mr. Car Wash. I like Mr. Car Wash. This is Thompson Avenue. I thought about busting a right on Thompson, but I want to go back to Cesar Chavez. El Taquero Mexican Grill. They open. They probably, man, ICE probably came by and started messing with them already. Like, okay, y'all got your paperwork or whatever like that. Because being that we're on the fifth step of Nazi Germany, you know, they just coming through with Gestapo, left and right. And so they probably already visited some of these businesses. Like, I thought that everybody was going to be shut down, but maybe they heard from the governor, or they heard that, you know, you can't be messing with people as much as they was. They're going to come up with new diabolical ways to do so. You know? So, yeah, I mean, Taco Libre, craft thrift store. Hey, don't be sleep on them thrift stores. You can find some old Nintendo, some old real wool. Come on, man. What is that? That's the 68? Okay, so the 68 goes to the west side. I'm thinking that the 68 is probably, what brought us over here in the first place. What's going on? Somebody honking their horn. What the hell? Yeah, I don't know what that's going on. Moreland Avenue. I don't know what's going on. Harbor Freight Tools. They have, Harbor Freight has some great tools for the dirt. Ladona, Del Primo, I don't know if they open. Man, when I see that McDonald's, y'all, I'm about to turn. I'm about to try to find that, because there's a story that I want to tell y'all. Well, I already told that story, but it's a story that'll be a segment where my homie had brought me over here, and like them essays, we were drinking the Jose Cuervo with him and all that. Indigenous People Task Force in partnership with Hennepin County Opioid Response Initiative. Call your spirit back. You see right here, he looks like he's planting a tree, and I don't know if they're giving up an offering or whatever the case may be, but I had that way in. Okay. Uh-oh. I must have had this out too far. Damn, I'm at I didn't even know I had that zoomed in like that. My bad, y'all. I didn't mean for that to happen. Okay. I'm still learning this camera stuff, y'all. Don't be too hard on me. I'm still learning. Man. I'm looking for that McDonald's. When I see that McDonald's, I'm gonna bust an immediate right, because I want to find that little house in that little area. It was a walk, and things seem longer when you younger. You know what I'm saying? When you walking, you ain't got no car. Feel like forever when you walking. All right, we going down. Going down, baby. Down, baby. All right, come on now. Yeah, I may have to go around this bus or something. Oh, there we go. We good. Damn, I gotta go. Damn. Annapolis Avenue or Street. There go the police. Saint Paul, our capital city. So now, are we leaving? What we doing here? Are we leaving West Saint Paul now? We should still be in West Saint Paul, but I get seen it says Saint Paul. I think I done passed the McDonald's. I don't know. Okay, let me just go ahead and get past Curtis Street. Man, I think I passed the McDonald's, y'all, because I wanted to go and see where that McDonald's was at. I see, I'm not gonna be familiar with none of these blocks because I didn't bend these blocks like that. You know, I didn't really know, because I'm telling y'all, listen to me. The Adventures of DP, this is like an extension of the Adventures of DP, because I would have told y'all some stories. I'm telling you, if I would have had more stories about the West Side, I would have gave them to you. But I ain't got them. So now I gotta probably go over to Concord Street, and I'm gonna have to show y'all a little more about that. Because remember, y'all, we about 5 to 7, we might be about 5 to 7 or 10 stories behind. You dig? Where, you know, I still haven't made all the videos, but like I said, I'm kind of slowing things down a little bit, and I'm getting used to making one video. It's taking me 2.5, sometimes 3 hours to make the videos because I like to edit it. And I might start contracting some of that stuff, man. But I like to give it to y'all like how I want to give it to y'all. So, man, let's hit Cesar Chavez, man. Let's get off Robert Street. Now, there used to be this place I used to eat chicken at from time to time. Let me see if it's still there. Is this it right here? It used to be right here. Now I might go up George Street, but I'm gonna keep it going. El Burrito. This some of they bit. Okay, there's go to Paul Wellstone Center. So I'm gonna bust the. Oh, they closed. Yeah, they closed. And that's a vintage spot. Look, El Lapita. I don't know if they open. We gonna go down this way in a minute. I always like this block. But look, I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Google Paul Wellstone. I want y'all to Google Paul Wellstone. Very mysterious crash. I'm not gonna put my little conspiracy theories out here, but what I will say, very mysterious. Been to this building several times. This is the Paul and Sheila Wellstone Community Center. Okay. This is a park. I think that's a high school. Let's go over there and see what kind of high school that is. Chavez Street. I've always kind of liked this block a little bit. In them little townhomes, I probably would have stayed over here. Gets ducked off. I would have stayed right over there. Yeah, for real. I would have stayed over there ducked off, y'all. You know, I low-key like this area. I like how it looks. I like how the streets are. Wouldn't nobody know where I stay. This is elementary school, Riverview Elementary School. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm just checking it out like y'all. I'm a fan like y'all right now. I'm looking. Y'all probably like, hey man, you showing me, man. I don't know nothing about the West Side like that. To a certain degree. I was coming out there with Esmeralda and, you know, coming out there, my homie, he out there trying to see what's going on, and he trying to get him a little, let me see, I'll just keep going. There go the mailman. So I want to bend a couple of these blocks just so I can kind of get, wait a minute. Oh, this Robert Street again. Okay, I see. What the hell did I do? Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Okay, so look, this is what we gonna do. And we'll probably end this, not necessarily end it, but we gonna go down this block right here with Cesar Chavez. We gonna bust one more left. And then one day, when we come back, because we're gonna do a part 2, and we're gonna go up and all around. Okay, so let's see if I can just go ahead and, there we go. All right, so we're gonna keep on going down the block. Cesar Chavez. So now, I want y'all to kind of think about this for a moment. This would have been the little areas that Esmeralda would have been taking me. This would have been a microcosm of where she would have been taking me. This place called El Burrito Mercado. It's a pretty big place, and they're closed. It's a grocery, and I think they got food in there too. I might, you know, so just giving y'all an idea. Just giving y'all an idea. Now, this might bring me to Concord. I shouldn't have drank all that coffee. Now I gotta use the restroom. But anyway, 52. So let's see how far this will let me go. So I can show y'all that gas station. That's South 52, North 52. Let me see if I can keep on going. Because I'm just going to jump back on the highway. And I might keep that same footage that I got. Guadalupe Church. Okay, they go to There go 12 right there. They look like they pulling in to get. Oh, what y'all doing? They just pulling in. I hope they don't get behind me. I ain't did nothing. Maybe they just turning around. I don't know. Little brother right there. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of black people out here on West St. Paul. Okay, so this street, let's see where it goes. This is like the other side. They got like, it says public dump. Oh, I know where to dump stuff now. Okay. So off to your left, what you're gonna see is like a dumping site. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like not mines, but it's just all kind of little manufacturing plants and stuff like that. Okay, now South St. Paul. See, that's where we're headed now. Let me tell you about South St. Paul. I've heard from several black people. They got a population of 20,000. I knew a female that worked out here. And when you listen to one of my stories, where I talked about going to the Bahamas, that story is part of this. You see, when I went down to the Bahamas. Now that's Butler Street right there. We're going into South St. Paul. South St. Paul is not the west side. I thought about living over here at one point in time, but I decided not to. But it was something that it's something that I consider. It's something that I consider. So now there was a club. I never did get to go, but there was a club called Valentino's. My homies used to love Valentino's at one point. But they used to go to this club and they have a nice little selection. And they used to try to get me. They were like, yeah, DP, you get you a little Puerto Rican or something over here. They used to kind of be over here. Oh, there go right there. We're going to turn around. We're going to turn around in a minute. I'm going to tell you where I used to get the Erder dog. And surprisingly, you'd be like, man, they sell that? But Valentino's was, I think, in this building right off here. Yep, I think it was that one. I believe it was that one right there. Valentino's was a club. As you can see, South St. Paul looks a little different. It looks a little different. I kind of like the old look to a certain degree. But I'm gonna turn around in a minute. Fury motorcycle. But I heard from a lot of black folks that South St. Paul police and it's kind of racist out here. You know, and it's racist everywhere, but I'm just saying. That looked like a Mexican bar and grill right there. I'm not sure. But that would have been a good place for me to turn around. So I'm probably gonna throw some trap music over here, Wentworth Avenue. All right, let's keep on. I'm just showing y'all everywhere, huh? Now, Concord Lanes. Now, I want y'all to Concord Lanes. I think me and D went over here once. I think so. It was me and D or one of the homies. We went over here and, of course, they had some brawls. This is Grand Avenue. They got a Burger King over here. Now, right here on Grand Avenue, right up by the subway. You see this building right here? Let me pull up. I'm pulling up. All right, now look. Now, one day we'll go a little further. Because I really like, this reminds me of Shepherd Road. But this building right here, right by this subway, because I remember I came over to this subway. But this building right here, I knew this girl that stayed, she worked here. And what she would do is she would pay me to bring her to work. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't want to come way out here. She stayed way over north. This is South Saint Paul now. So I think Valentino's was right here, or it was way back. I think it was this building, or was that building that I talked about. So we're not gonna go all the way down Concord Street today. We're gonna bust a left and we're gonna hit that highway. But before we do, I want to show y'all the Erderdal area, or where I bought the Erderdal, because I couldn't get it nowhere else. This little redneck part of town, you would have thought they wouldn't have that. But I must have went in here and got a snack. I don't know why I was way over in South Saint Paul. I was over here for some reason, and I must have went and got a snack. I probably dropped her off and said, man, let me get me a little snack. I'm telling you, you talk about a fun time, man. I had my 1998 Oldsmobile Regency, and I might have had something else at the time too. And you just free, yeah, Concord Lane. I came here with somebody, man. I came here with somebody. I think it was D. Man, who did I come here with? I came here with somebody, and there was some bras with us too. Because somebody invited me to go way over here. Like, man, let's go to Duck Off, man. Let's go to Concord Lanes, bro. Concord Lanes, where's that? In South Saint Paul. I said, what? Can't we go somewhere close? Man, come on, let's go over here. All right, bet. Ducked off. Duck Goose. Duck Hunt Mario. I mean, I'm talking about you ducked off. I mean, you ducked off. You ain't gonna see nobody you know. And it's not like we have folks looking for us or nothing, man. That's not the thing. But, you know, sometimes you just want to be, you don't want to be around everybody just to, man, we around everybody and everybody know us and all that. Man, you don't gotta have all that. You could just, you know, we not hiding, but, man, at the same time, we, you know, you want to find new stuff, not the same old stuff in the hood. Or, man, let's go to Lake Street, or, man, let's go to Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park. No, let's do something different. We duck hunting Mario our ass over here to South Saint Paul. I mean, I'm here for it, y'all. I like that's a dead end right there. Man, I think that was it right there. The 1009 building, I think that was Valentino's. Or it might have been, no, I think it was down a little bit where I showed y'all. But look at the bluffs all off to the far left. Lovely. Here we go. Let me show y'all right here. This is what I'm gonna show y'all right here. Now look at this here. This is the gas station, man, right here. I'm just gonna pull in real slow. But this is the gas station right here, man. This is the gas station that I got with the M, the Erderdal. Use the M word, the Erderdal. The Erderdal magazine is where I used to come right here, man. They got a bail bondsman right there too, across the street. Mini storage. South Saint Paul to me is like their own world. If you guys notice something, South Saint Paul ain't got a bunch of stuff like West Saint Paul. And that's for a reason. Now up on the hills, there's like a little project. Maybe I'll go up there another time. Not a project, but like some buildings. And at the time, me and my wife were looking into, you know, they were looking at somewhere to stay. Like, you know, I was going basically, you know, when we were first kind of dating, she was thinking about moving. And she thought about that. And then she was like, man, I don't know about South Saint Paul. She's like, man, it's kind of, you know, kind of racist out here. And what I've heard reports of black folks saying that. They probably had some issues with the police, you know, and how they're treated or whatever the case may be. You know, I don't have a lot of details about South Saint Paul, but that's what I've heard. I've always liked living around or being around places with train tracks. You know, I like trains as a kid, so I've always liked that. And that's probably another reason why I like the architecture of this area. But what I'm probably going to do when I do editing is I'm going to show y'all history about South Saint Paul. I've already showed some history about West Saint Paul. So you're going to see that in this, you know, because I want to make this historical as well. Off to your right, ain't no cameras. Let me see if I can do it. Off to your right, you see, well, you can't really see it, but it looks like these are a manufacturing site or some kind of area where they got a bunch of industrial. You can't really see it that well. So I think I'm gonna have to get some better mounting equipment for you guys so you can kind of see it a little bit better. But you can see the railroads. All of the railroads are, you know, down there because they got industry. I'm gonna assume that, you know, before the 1970s, there was a great amount of very industrious manufacturing plants and things of that nature. Oh, the barge channel. Oh, aluminum cans. Okay, so they said a barge channel. So maybe there's an area where you could put a barge. There go that same cop. Well, guess what? I'm going. Yeah, he's just trying to catch people speeding. So I'm gonna hit 52 north, not south, but 52 north to bring me back to St. Paul, and then I'm probably gonna get off. You know, it's interesting now that, well, I don't know, but I think people are worried more about Ice Baby. I think they're worried about Ice Baby more than the police now. But that's just me thinking. Now, this is Plato Boulevard. I've taken 52 a million times. And look off to your right, you see, you know, kind of off to your right, you might see the airport. That's not our major airport. I just want y'all to know that. That ain't our major airport. Okay? That airport is an airport if you have a small plane. Maybe a helicopter or something like that. I think, this is my personal opinion, you know, my opinion don't mean shit, but my personal opinion, I think it's a good idea for young, when they say, well, what job should you try to do, you know? Young black folk, get into piloting, flying in planes, you know? You come out here, I don't know what the training is, but I think you need maybe about, you know, a couple thousand hours of flight school or whatnot, I don't know. I've always liked this little area, 52. I like 52. Then you can see the river off to the far right. And I think that kind of wraps around Shepherd Road. And if you're taking an Amtrak train, bringing you past down by Hastings, I believe. All right, so let's see here. There's 5. Should we take 5? Where does 5 bring us? Somebody smoking some King Cobra on the road. It's coming straight through the car. You know you got some King Cobra that smells good if it's coming through the highway. Man, you got some good King Cobra if it's coming through the highway, Jack. Man, come on. I ain't knocking it, man. I mean, if it's coming through the high, smell that on the highway. They got that California King Cobra or something. I smell that on the highway. Man, if y'all trapping, you better not, man. A state trooper smell that. If I smelled it, you, man, please. All right, so I just got off over here. So now, getting off over here, you're just gonna end up in East St. Paul. Yeah, you're gonna end up in East St. Paul. And I was just gonna I might hop on the highway again, but I was just giving y'all, I just want y'all to see it. Wait a minute, uh-oh. Hold on, I was supposed to go this way. Damn, man, it's making me go dead straight. Well, I'm not gonna get a car wash today, but this is where it's gonna bring me. Dead straight's gonna bring me. We're on East 7th Street. West 7th Street's off to the right. So I say East 7th Street. So you're gonna be on Eastside Saint Paul. So we took 52. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pull in right here. I don't think there's nobody behind me. So I'm just gonna turn around. I'm gonna turn around real quick. I'll get a car wash next time. But this is where we used to bring our Tahoes and bubble caprices and all that kind of stuff, And this is where we used to bring all of our old schools over here when we used to want our car washed. I mean, if you over south, you just gonna go to Park Avenue, but I used to come over here a lot. Because in my mind, I might see something. I might see a little thick chocolate in St. Paul. You know what I mean? That's what I used to think. I'm just be honest. I used to think I might find me a little chocolate in St. Paul. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. All right, we're on East 7th. You guys have seen this before. You're probably, far as me, you probably ain't really gonna get. Yeah, you know, there ain't a whole lot that I ain't covered already. Not much. Got to put some music in here. All right, let's see. This place right here off to your right, Havana, if you bust a right here, let me see, are they open? Oh, they closed. Man, I'm telling you, man, they closed. Yeah, they closed. Let's see. What about this place? They open. Taqueria, LA. Well, yeah, man, I mean, shoot, it's still some places closed. They probably just didn't want to be dealing with ICE or whatever the case may be. I get it. Totally understandable, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna pretend like I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not stupid. Yeah, okay, so what you guys got in my analysis, Ice Ice Baby was not, I didn't see him in West St. Paul. And maybe they got the order to kind of go to Minneapolis and focus or whatever. I'm quite sure they were out there, but I didn't see nobody. I didn't see nobody, man. I just want to kind of tour the Westside Saint Paul, and I was just wondering, are a lot of them folks out there? I didn't see nobody. But, you know. Quiet on the Western Front. You know, very quiet on the West Side today. Not too much going on here in East St. Paul. Well, the blocks that I went down. So I think I'm getting a little hungry. It's about time for something to eat. I ain't seeing a lot of police out here. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's 4 o'clock, man. It's almost 4. They got this place called, let me see, are they open? La Campo. They look like they closed. They look like they closed for good, but I think they're still open. But it's not open today. Now, South Minneapolis might be a little different. I'm gonna be honest. You know, I don't know. Damn. It messed up his truck. He done messed up his truck. Okay. Yeah, I like doing this, y'all. Kind of just showing you around the city a little bit. At some point, I might go over north a little bit, but I don't know. They close too. They always be open around about this time. Taqueria El Buno Gusto. So okay, now let me give my opinion on this as to another reason why I think you have the invasion as it is. They can say, well, now Minnesota caused all this fraud, right? Minnesota caused all this fraud. So what we're going to do is we will shut down a lot of the immigrant businesses because they're not really going to want to do much. They're not going to want to open because they think that somebody might try to get them. So I think that could be another reason too. That's, you know, the feds could say, you know, well, we'll just make it so you can't get no money. Because, you know, if you got fear of somebody running up on you, you ain't gonna be able to get no money. It's like, okay, think about the dope game. And I'm not saying anybody's committing a crime as far as illicit drugs. I'm not saying that. I just want to paint this picture. All right, now, if I can't sell dope, or like when I used to have mixtapes, if I can't be out here selling my mixtapes because I got beef all the time and somebody's running up on me, I'm not really gonna be able to make my money. I'm gonna have to pick a side. Either you gonna have to, you know, you're not really gonna be able to come outside like how you want to if you got somebody running up on you all the time. So you be like, well, hell, I'll just stay home. You know what I'm saying? Or you just close up shop. So this is a business. They're not selling drugs out of their business. They're, you know, they got restaurants and what have you or whatever. But the fear of being pulled up on, that's another way to eradicate the immigrant business sector. If that's their plan. If that's their plan, if the federal government is like, all right, Minnesota, you're the cause of fraud, so I'm going to punish the business sector. Now, that may not just, I'm not just talking about restaurants. What they could also do is they could say, well, you got people in all different other kind of working, you know, conditions, okay, janitorial or whatever business that they're doing. Security guard, I mean, it could, you know, it could be anything. That's just my take. If I was somebody that was trying to make sure you don't make no money, that's what I'm going to do. Now, I wouldn't do that to nobody. I wouldn't try to get nobody not to make no money. And I'm not calling ICE either. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like calling the police. I hate calling the police. I do not like calling them. I don't even want them on my phone number if I can avoid it. But if I was somebody that was trying to stop your bag, that's a good tactic. I'll shut down your money. Because if you ain't got no money, you can't fight back. This is America. Yeah, if you ain't got no money, you can't fight back. You know, you can't gather your law and your armaments and all that. You can't fight back if you ain't got no money. You lost the war. War requires resources. So that's just my take on that. I'm seeing those businesses and I'm saying, okay, well, maybe they're like, okay, let's try this. We got people afraid. Nazi Germany, fifth step. So right now, you know, I decided instead of taking 35, I went through the east side. If you notice, a lot of the area I covered, I was able to do maybe 40, 50 miles per hour on a lot of it. You understand? So, I mean, it's pretty quiet today, man. I mean, for a Saturday, it's damn quiet. Quiet on the Western Front. That's why I'm going to name this Quiet on the Western Front. I think you guys might want to go check that movie out on Netflix. Great movie. Great movie. Actually, some time ago, earlier when I was doing doing things on my channel, I had a list of a lot of the World War I, World War II specifically movies, and I was kind of studying it. Like, okay, how did the Germans from one country, how were they able to do all of this stuff? And I just couldn't figure it out. They had superior weaponry, you know, and all of that kind of stuff too. They had some stuff. Their scientists spent a lot of time really, you know, getting their weapons together. And I was trying to find out, like, man, why didn't all these countries band together? Well, you know, if you got a diabolical scheme and you got the machinery and war tactics and then you got the resources, they drained them of their resources. So I was just trying to figure out, how did World War II happen? Well, you know, they had a hell of a plan. You know, they looked over at Jim Crow like, hey, wait a minute. They got the entire United States. It wasn't just the South, y'all. Don't never let them get away with that. Especially you got a lot of so-called white liberals that are, oh, well, that's just racism in the South. Man, nigga, please. You not gonna use them Jedi mind tricks on me or anybody listening to my channel. Y'all had Jim Crow North. You had the Dred Scott. Yeah. We ain't gonna play that game. Absolutely not. No. You're not gonna play that game with me. The Dred Scott decision was in the Wisconsin territory. That's why I said this is the Dred Scott North. I don't use the term Jim Crow North anymore. We're in the Dred Scott North right now. Go look that up and see if I'm lying. The Dred Scott decision. So, when they looked at the United States, they saw that blacks were undermined in the North and the South, but mainly they mimicked the Jim Crow South. As far as the laws, like, let's use this template, we could use it over here. But there's a lot of World War II movies and stuff like that. Like, I like watching a lot of those, what they call period films. I enjoy them. I don't enjoy what happened to the people. I'm just saying, like, you know, Private Ryan, you thinking that's one of the best cinematic films. No. You got some cinematography, Norvik and Quiet on the Western Front. And, man, they got some independent, or should I say, you know, films that, you got some films, man, that rival Saving Private Ryan as far as the cinematography. You got some stuff, I'm telling you. So, it's taking a while, man. County Road B, let's see here. I wonder. I think maybe I'm about to just go ahead and go this way and see as far as I can go. We're getting closer. If you keep going up, you kind of getting over to Matamidi and whatnot. A lot of dealerships kind of over here. I might edit some of this out, or I might leave it. I don't know how I'm feeling. All depends. Fairly new building, of course. I think I remember when they were building it. I don't know. Quiet on the Western Front. Yes, sir. Absolutely. County Road D. St. Paul, I will tell you guys, man, St. Paul, there's some beautiful places. Minneapolis has some nice places too. I actually, quite frankly, I kind of like, it's less traffic in St. Paul. Don't get me wrong, they got some traffic. But Minneapolis, you're running to Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park. You know, you dealing with the south suburbs going through that way. When you over here towards Wisconsin, this is the East Metro. It's just less traffic. It's a lot. Do not get me wrong. It's a lot, but it's just a little less, man. I'm just being honest with you. Off to the right, you got the Myth nightclub. Talked about that before. Off to the left, you got Best Buy. You know, so but yeah, man, I think I've kind of made my case, showed y'all around a little bit. Next time we'll hit the west side of St. Paul. We might go a little further, or we'll go somewhere a little deeper, or we'll do a little bit of restaurant stuff. How about that? All right, y'all, take care. This will be uploaded very soon.